Hey, this is Marcus Washington from MTC Media here on the floor at MSG as Georgetown season has finally come to an end with an 80-48 loss to Villanova. This is one of those games where the score was indicative of the execution, the effort, the coaching, and just the overall play. Georgetown looked like a team that after the first 4 or 5 minutes was ready to season to be over at the first media timeout. I believe they were up by 1. After that, Villanova just rained threes. Villanova would finish the day 15 of 35 from the three-point line. Frankly, Georgetown looked like a team that had quit. And I asked Patrick Ewing, Jay Heath, Brandon Murray, Primo Spears, and you can find all of those interviews and videos on my YouTube page. Did the season wear you down? That's a lot of losing, buddy, especially for the ones who've been here for 2 years. And all of them to a man, oh, we still worked hard. We still did this. We still did that. But the truth of the matter is they look like a team who had lost almost 30 Big East games over the last 2 years. And it showed tonight. Villanova looks like Georgetown looked when they went on to win the Big East tournament. Georgetown looked like a team that possibility that they'll have a new coach next year. In fact, Primo Spears in an interview afterwards said that when asked was he worried about his coach, simply said that he was worried about being prepared for next year. And so that kind of shows you where this team is. The effort showed today. And Patrick Ewing, again, he was asked in one of the interviews about whether he was concerned about his job and was he thinking about his job. And he was defiant as ever and said he'd be honored to stay the Georgetown coach. But listen to the wording. I will be honored to stay Georgetown coach because everything that this university had done to me, what it means to me, blah, 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 blah. It did not defiantly say I should be the Georgetown coach. And if there was a time that if you truly felt that way, that was the time to say it. Now, people would have thought it was ridiculous, but that was the time to say it. And he didn't say it, which makes everyone think that his fate, he knows his fate. We don't know that. Only time will tell if that's the case. But he looked like a man who knows his fate. He sounded like a man who knows his fate. He sounded like a man who, after 6 years, still can't get his arms around why this didn't work. And that's a lot of coaches. A lot of coaches, when it doesn't work out, 4 years, 6 years, 3 years. Nate James got 2 years at Austin Peay, got fired. Of course, it's natural for you to reflect back and say, why didn't this work? Because everyone on the outside is going to have their theories and their thoughts on why it didn't work. But it's interesting, and maybe this is something you get out of Patrick next year, maybe even 2 years from now, in his mind what went wrong, because I really want to know from his perspective why this didn't work with 6 years, incoming freshmen, transfer portal guys, every way it could be done. And it just never, ever, ever stuck, held, and progressed. So the court in the house that Patrick Ewing became so famous in after Georgetown is where his less than memorable coaching career will probably end. And the irony behind that it ended at the hands of the Villanova Wildcats. You couldn't have scripted. You couldn't have scripted this. You couldn't have scripted the last 6 years. Hey, I am done here from Madison Square Garden. I don't know how much of the Big East I'm going to cover. You're going to catch me again tomorrow. And for those who's wondering when tomorrow is Thursday. I will be back down in Brooklyn at the Atlantic 10 tournament. George Mason, St. Louis. I can't wait to talk to you guys from Barclays. This is Marcus Washington from MTC Media.